That's a little bit better. That's a little bit better, I think. Oops. I do that. I adjust it and I accidentally turn it off. Oh, okay. I think it's turned off. Well, that means it's, that's the sound.
So it came up here, that's why I was like, it was, there it goes, is that it?
Mm-mm.
Yeah, it was on.
Okay.
Is anyone else there?
It's not seeing it. See the integrated web camera, that's
So
the,
nothing, like,
see it says connect when it goes to the connect camera. The webcam, the conference camera. I can close out and start it, try entering Zoom again.
because you're not doing anything different, right?
Mm-mm.
Your blue light isn't on here.
Oh, okay, try turning it on.
There it goes.
Okay, cool.
He said he heard from you.
Okay. Let me turn the volume down. There we go. All right, audio test. I'm going to go ahead and turn off the facilitator microphone. Podium audio check, 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3.
You keep it down or you hold it like that? You keep it down like this or you hold it?
Hold it up so I can try to do eye contact.
Yeah, that's better. Oh, that's too far down.
Yeah, I can't.
Okay.
Yeah, it was a deep permit. They originally were going to build a sewer line after 60. They were insane. It's not the SD route there. Wait, they ended up forcing sanitation to it changes your you mean the limit? So I don't think it's I just position and so it's like no, they actually so department head roof authority is 63,000. So anything above 63,000 for the council. Other previous cases.
Audio test 1, 2, 3. Good morning to our attendees who are joining us and Bureau staff who are joining us here in the board hearing room. If there's any member of the public who wishes to offer public comment, please fill out a speaker card located in the back of the room on the table, indicate which item you'd like to speak on, and hand it to me. I'll record your information for the record and call upon you when we reach your item. Good morning as well to our attendees who are joining us on the virtual platform. If you would like to offer a public comment or commentary on any of our agendized items this morning, please raise your hand. I will ask you to unmute. You can indicate which item you'd like to speak on. I'll record your information and we'll call upon you when we reach your item. It's 9:44. The board meeting should start at exactly at 10 a.m. I will make another call out in approximately 10 minutes to see if there's any members who are not currently in the room or on the virtual platform who have joined us who wish to offer commentary. Thank you.
What's up, my niggas? Aren't you glad, John, we're all gonna die finally from China? Aren't you glad the Russians gonna fuck us up? Aren't you glad that the fucking Iranians and the fucking fucking hate America? I love it. Can't wait to see the first bomb hit the United States. I'm gonna be fucking jumping. So long, niggers. Hey, John, isn't it terrible that I had to grow up to be an American citizen and put up with this shit? I grew up as an American citizen. I had to put up with this shit. That's why I wear this special shirt. And I fuck UCLA as fuck spoiled children from USC. I never went to those schools. If I had a chance, I probably would have been someone better instead of doing this. You know, I have to come in here for attention. You know, but if I had a $1 million check, guess what? I wouldn't have to come here. If I had $1 million, I wouldn't have to even be around this building. That's the influence of money. It corrupts people, especially women. Women go after you for your wallet, not for your looks, John. They like fat wallet, like kangaroo. Look at kangaroo up there. Fucking had those people attacking me the other day. Dumb bitch. Chinese motherfucker, whatever he is. Hey, the next time you have people yelling and screaming at me, John, you know what's gonna happen? I'm gonna do exactly what they're doing. Every time they get a podium. Black motherfucker. Sit down. Right? Well, you guys let them, well, kangaroo let that happen to me. Did you hear the audio on that? Listen to the audio on that. The audio shows that you criminals allow the white nigger film industry to scream at me. Like I'm afraid of them. What the guy tell me when I walked by him? You see what he said? Where are you from? I'll see you outside. I said, motherfucker, get up and let's go outside. He didn't follow me. Why not? I got nothing to hide. I've gotten my ass kicked more than once. You don't think my older brother from the army kicked my ass more than once? Why did he kick my ass? Because he's showing me that no matter how hard you get hit, no matter how hard you fight till you hurt them, so they don't come back. But see, like you, John, I'm not violent, but I have to protect myself. Hey, what's up? Hey, but I love this war, though. It just means more Americans and grandchildren and your newborns are all gonna fucking die from American bombs. Hey, and then Blondie boy with the ponytail there, he's gonna find out what Chinese bombs and Russian bombs and fucking Sandnegger bombs are like when they're hitting American land. Free.
Hey, Hermie,
Yes, sir.
you better sign up Dusty. He said he wanted to make a speech too.
Oh, okay. You have a card? Do the privilege. Holy shit. Communist walked in here, John. So 5 years of LA film, huh? Ain't that a bitch? Like it's really gonna improve the economy? The economy's all fucked up. Doesn't the mayor get it? Doesn't Mayo get it? What about that other jackass up north, the capital, Newscom? So yeah, that fucking kangaroo guy up there let those fucking people yell and scream at me. Traitor. Go back to your fucking country. Wait till I send the FBI sneaking in your backyard looking for shit you're doing, kangaroo. Keep fucking with us. We got Weezer, we got Englander.
Good morning once again to our attendees who are joining us here in the board hearing room. If there are any members of the public who wish to offer public comment or commentary on any of our agendized items, and you've not already done so, please fill out a speaker card located in the back of the room on the table, indicate which item you'd like to speak on, and hand it to me. I'll record your information for the record, and we'll call upon you when we reach your item. I currently have Audit LA, Haiti, Alina, and WTF as speakers in the room who've submitted cards. And good morning as well to our attendees who are joining us on the virtual platform. If there are any members of the public who wish to offer commentary on any of our agendized items, please raise your hand at this time. I'll ask you to unmute. You can identify, if you would identify yourself for the record, indicate which item you'd like to speak on, and we will call upon you when we reach your item. And again, to our attendees on the Zoom platform, please, if you wish to offer commentary, please raise your hand at this time so I can record your information for the record. And it's 9:53. We should get started with the board meeting in approximately 7 minutes. Thank you.
Are you gonna show up? They haven't started the meeting here in Public Works. Yeah. Jenny Lopez Chavez in here, as usual, running late. And Miss Faith. These fuckers always start the meeting late. Alright, I put a card in for you. Out. Hey, John, did you hear about the Florida judge? They got walked out in handcuffs, that federal fucking Chinese motherfucker. He was taking money bribes. He's a fucking biased piece of shit. And Bondi fucked him hard, man. She fucked him hard. She sat there patiently. And then she laid out the truth of the FBI report. And that video audio.
Good morning to our attendees who are on the virtual platform. I do see a couple of hands raised. I'm going to ask you to unmute and identify yourself for the record and which item you'd like to speak on. And I'll start with Jill. Good morning, Jill.
General public comment.
I could not hear you. Could you please?
1 minute. General public comment.
There may be an issue.
General public comment.
All right, thank you, Jill. I'm going to go ahead and put you back on mute and lower your hand. If there are any other members of the public who have not already done so and would like to offer a public comment, and you're on the virtual platform, please raise your hand, identify yourself for the record, and indicate which item you'd like to speak on. And if you're in the hearing room, joining us in the hearing room, and you would like to offer public comment, please fill out a speaker card located in the back of the room on the table, indicate which item you'd like to speak on, and hand it to me.
Was it sabotage for LA Film so they can get their 5-year contract? I believe so. Keep fucking with that shit. And your ass is in the fucking federal prison. The more you keep fucking doing this shit, the FBI is just sitting back there. fucking snitches sitting back here in the crowd that you don't know it, and they're gonna take down notes, and you're gonna little cry your ass off in handcuffs.
But today it should be
Cowards.
But today there's no union members. Because so most likely today everybody get a call. There's no union call today. So today is
See, being a Native American, being a Seminole, being from Florida, I know how to fuck with your mind. We're the only nation that kicked the United States Army's ass out of Florida land. Couldn't catch us, couldn't find us. And even my great cousin Crazy Horse that escaped from the bitches gave himself up because he was that stupid ass. We developed guerrilla warfare, John. We, the Native Americans, of this fucked up land, this fucked up country, and this fucked up society that you call America. Indians were first. Just like the fucking Chinese had the Mongolos. Stay in your own fucking country. Destroy it.
President Kang, we are now in record mode.
All right, everybody. Good morning, everybody, and welcome to the regular scheduled meeting of the Board of Public Works for Wednesday, June 25th, 2025. Mr. Knight, please take roll and establish quorum.
Good morning, President Kang, Vice President Chavez, President Pro Tem Grant, Commissioner Mitchell are present. We do have a quorum. We are joined this morning by City Attorney Representative Virginia Choi. I'm TJ Knight with the Board of Public Works. President Kang, we have five public comment speaker cards and 4 multiple item comment speaker cards here in the room. And we have 1 public comment request on the Zoom platform. We have no neighborhood council commentary this morning.
Thank you very much. Let's get started with general public comment, which is an opportunity for the public to address the board on public interest items and will be provided up to 1 minute per person, up to a cumulative total of 10 minutes for the general public comment segment of each regular meeting. Testimony shall be limited in content to subject matters which are within the jurisdiction of the Board of Public Works. The board may not take any action on any matters discussed during the public comment period. We will begin with in-person speakers. First up, we have Audit Ale.
Trying to introduce TikTok to Public Works. It's all fascinating. We learned so much. And President Kang, I want to thank you that you suspended twice the 10 minutes rule, but I'm just going to ask you straight out, if you could just, if anyone wants to speak, just let the public speak. You know, I would appreciate it. I'm just asking my request, but I thank you for that. Here to ask and continue to ask, eventually, like so much has happened. Thank you. They're no longer getting endless permits. But we're still working on the street. The street was dedicated to a name of a person who's a felon, but the problem is it was laid by people who are considered really religious. They call them religious volunteers, but it's really a form of slavery. You know, working 110 hours for $47, doesn't matter if you're children or not. It's not really free will at that point. And when you're working on a public street, you have to be paid fair wages. It's the law. There's no exceptions that I know of. The union president may know more than me, but I think it's, you know, the law that you have to pay fair wages. That's what we're asking for their workers, for their people. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Our next speaker is Haiti Soto Marini.
What's up? Please approach the podium and you have 60 seconds to offer your comment.
So I want to thank this board for not issuing an order to arrest me for moving a toilet. I really appreciate that. I think so far so good. I also want to thank the deputy city attorneys for also not filing charges on me for moving a toilet during the June Father's Day event that was permitted, thanks to all the work that Audit LA and several others behind the scenes have done. I want to thank the rest of the deputy attorneys for not getting together and colluding to further violate my rights on filing other bogus criminal charges for, again, some grand conspiracy. It seems that apparently being on L. Ron Hubbard Way is some sort of criminal act in and of itself. But for that, I say thank you for not filing criminal charges against me, or at least if you did, you could at least file criminal charges against the rest of the people that also put their hands on a toilet that, for some reason, in fact, Scientology actually tried to steal. So maybe that's a case that you could take a look at Scientology in filing some sort of theft charges against Jennifer maybe or somebody else. So for that, I thank you for not prosecuting me further.
Thank you very much. Next speaker is Alina Hampsit-Down.
Good morning, President. Yes, so during the general public comment, I just want to have a friendly message, especially to our friend right here. And I believe a lot of our public workers are from an illegal immigration background, and I wish our board can provide a safe working environment. And I really wish that in the future, I am also myself as an illegal immigrant, and I really wish that our board can provide a safe, friendly speaking environment so that all of our illegal immigrants can feel safe to attend the meeting safely. And then because a lot of the speakers keep telling me that I need to go back to my communist prison, I just want to inform all of my friends that I want to be peaceful. I want to be, I have an American dream, and I wish that a public work does not have to keep saying that going back to communist prison. I'm trying to please.
All right, the next speaker is WTF, Mr. Trump.
So, fucking kangaroo, you allowed the public of LA filming to verbally attack me and threaten me, you fucking cunt. What kind of dick are you? What kind of president runs a fucking public works like this, you shithole? And as far as I'm concerned about Mexican railroad, fuck Mexican railroads and fuck the bronze statue. What kind of fucking criminal enterprise puts that shit up in our country when Donald Trump saved your fucking jobs, saved your fucking city, saved your fucking rioters from doing more harm than good? Go back to your fucking country if you don't like America. Go back and get your legal documents, your naturalized IDs, and come into my fucking country and you can work all fucking day long. Other than that, 42 USC 1983, fuck you, Newscom, and fuck the mayor of Los Angeles. Bitch.
Thank you very much. Our next speaker is Goat Puppet. All right, second call for Goat Puppet. Mr. Knight, we will now transition over to our virtual.
Thank you, President Kang. And we only have one virtual comment at this time for general public comment, and that is Jill. Jill? Go ahead.
Okay. I'm going to reiterate a lot of what Audit LA said about L. Ron Hubbard Way. It's very distasteful. How would you like it if there was a sign that said Warren Jeffs Way? He's currently imprisoned for his FLDS shenanigans, like what L. Ron Hubbard should have been imprisoned for before he took his own life high on whatever in a trailer. He was supposedly high on psych drugs, and the cult says you're not supposed to be taking those drugs, so he's a hypocrite. So it's very hypocritical in a free country to have a sign with that name on the sign. It's an insult. It's egregious, and the bricks have to be torn up because it was done by slavery. We don't have chain gangs anymore. I know they're illegal in California. When are you going to do something about it? Bye.
President King, although that was the only virtual public commenter who had indicated they wished to offer a public comment, I do see a hand raised during that last 60-second block. If you like, I can ask if they would like.
Yes, please.
Excellent. Miriam, would you like to offer public comment this morning? I see that you've unmuted, however, I'm not seeing any.
Okay, hi. I wasn't asked to unmute yet,
Oh,
so
sorry,
that's
sorry.
right. Yeah, just a public comment, please. I just would like to reiterate what the audit and Jill said before regarding the bricks that are laid on L. Ron Hubbard Way by slave labor, in some cases children under 10 years of age, where there's slave labor still happening today. It would be amazing if you could repave that road in respect of the victims of Scientology. That's all. Thank you.
And seeing no other hands raised on the virtual platform, that concludes public comment this morning. President Kang.
Thank you very much. With that, we will close the general public comment portion of today's meeting and move on to multiple agenda item public comment. The board will provide an opportunity for the public wishing to speak on more than one agenda item during the multiple agenda item public comment period for up to a minute per item and up to a total of 3 minutes per meeting. This is the only time you can speak on more than one agenda item. And please identify the items that you will speak on when you are called. We'll start with in-person Audit LA.
Good morning again. I want to start with, I guess, number one about bids. You know, I keep saying the same thing over and over again. It's just a reminder that when we're looking at bids, this whoever they are, that we keep in mind that there are a lot of bad companies or other things, that there is such a thing as human trafficking in the sense of labor trafficking. Sadly, it's a reality. I wish it wasn't. I didn't even know it was until I started, fighting what's going on with Scientology and realizing that they have slave labor that they call religious volunteers, but it's really an abusive thing. But then I start learning that there's other companies too, and they make a boatload of money, but the people that they hire are not making their fair wages. They could be kept in areas or containment areas where they're sent out to work. They they get paid, but they don't get to keep their money. I didn't think that happened here. I used to be an investigator, and I almost took a job where I would have been doing checking out sweatshops in different countries, and I was going to be sent to China and Dominican Republic mostly. Okay. And I had no clue that this stuff goes on here, but it does. So please be aware of that. And also, when it comes to the R permit, it sounds like a nice R permit. It sounds, like they're paying tribute to somebody. I didn't really, I'd like to look more to what it was about. My judgment call's not on that, but my judgment call is about these, we've been here saying about not just R permits, but right away, trying to sell the right away, trying to street vacations. I'm very leery about any of that. And so anytime you're going to have an R permit, I would really ask that you really put into the contract that things that could get it revoked easily. Like if you find out that they are in, like court cases, like I'm going to compare to Scientology, they are now facing child bride charges. They are, and civilian RICO lawsuits and this different things. So if there's any kind of thing that looks like they may not be in good standing with the community, it should be easier to revoke their permits. It should be easier to say no to street permits. Like right now, any kind of permit or any kind of, I really am asking you to look deeper into whoever comes before you for anything and to make it easier to revoke it if they are going against what we consider decent in today's standards for how we treat each other. And with that, I thank you.
Thank you very much. Our next speaker is Haiti Soto Marini. Okay, moving on, we have Alina Hamsit-Down.
Thank you, President. Let's start with item number 3, and hopefully our city attorney does not interrupt me. Item number 3, one of them is the bronze statue of Mexican-American railroad worker. Yes, I am here to support this statue, but I also want to inform our public work and our public work president and that transcontinental railroad that was built on more than 36,000 slave labor, and they are from China. And then, so when you are trying to acknowledge the American railroad worker, I wish our friend right here does not keep saying all of our Chinese railroad worker are communist, trash, or whatever. I really wish that our friend can show some respect to the Chinese railroad worker as well. Now, let's move on to item number 7. Is about the residential sewer service charge, and then thank you, our city attorney does not put me in communist prison. It's about the sewer surcharge. Based on what I'm reading, I'm having a feeling that are you talking about another increase about a sewer service charge? Because the other day I went to the LA DWP commission on the Juneteenth. I don't know why they are having a special board meeting on Juneteenth, and then they just approved their recent, like, whatever bill, service charge. So when I look at the service charge determination, I'm thinking there will be more cost to the residents of the Los Angeles city, even though I'm just an illegal Los Angeles city resident. Now, let's move on to item number 10. Hopefully our city attorney does not shut my microphone. It's about the CD6 tiny home village. Yes, I am here to support our tiny home. I spoke with several times with our council member Kevin De Leon, and Kevin De Leon actually put several of my friends who live on the street inside of the tiny home village program. Yes, the only thing I just want to inform our friend is that so many our illegal immigrants also live on the street, and I really wish that our friend right here can allow all of the illegal immigrants on the street a chance to move into a small tiny village home, and instead of saying that we all have to go to prison, instead of telling us that we all have to go back to communists, I really wish that when we are having this small tiny village home project, I want to make sure everyone living on the street have a fair chance of getting in. Everyone have a same chance of getting a small village home, and I really wish that we can respect people from everyone regardless of their immigration status.
That's 3 minutes. Thank you.
Next speaker, we have WTF Trump.
This fucking state and this fucking country was built on slaves. White niggers, too, made slaves out of every fucking nation, including those fucking Mandarin motherfuckers from Asia, meaning some of you. And why do we have to have just one fucking statue of a Mexican American? Why can't we have all nationalities and a statue representing fucking slaves? Wetback slaves, Asian slaves that built San Francisco, built the rail system. What about those fucking Asians? They're no different than me. We bleed the same, and we shit out of our ass, and we speak out of our mouth a lot of shit. But the facts are true. You're all worthless piece of shits. So fuck item number 2 in CD 11, and fuck Buckethead on CD 1. Now let's go to the real facts. Fucking tiny house? What is a fucking tiny home? What did David O. Carter tell you white niggers in politics about taking homes away from homeless veterans? What were the veterans doing in their campers but sleeping and calling it a home? What were the fucking veterans doing in Brentwood? Sleeping on the fucking tents and sidewalks. What were you doing, Public Works? Removing their property, stealing stealing their identity and dumping it in the fucking trash. That's so fucking patriotic. That is so fucking American, Jenny Ho. So when you sit there playing on your computer, Jenny Ho, maybe you will learn something that one day China, one day Russia, one day these fucking Taliban sand niggers are going to destroy your children. And then they will have to live in a tiny home. And they will know what it's like in the village of Sun Valley Metrolink, which is a fucking worthless piece of shit for $5-6 million trillion budget. What kind of shit is this? What kind of real shit is this? How the fuck can you build LAX Metro Rail for millions of fucking dollars into the billions when goddamn Wayne Spindler told you that DWP, Peter fucking Thomas all over again, is stealing his water bill? What's the conflict there? You got LAX, promise $1 billion people mover, then you got Wayne Spindler, an attorney, talking about fucking DWP, white niggers stealing him by gouging him on his bill. Wait till you see that lawsuit. You are open to litigation for corruption, embezzlement, and ripping off the public. So on behalf of Mr. Spindler and all the puppets and the people of Los Angeles, fuck you politely.
Thank you very much. We have one more call for Haiti Sotomarini. If not, go puppet. All right, Mr. Knight, let's move to virtual.
President King, there are no virtual commenters who have identified themselves who wish to offer multiple agenda item commentary this morning.
Okay. So with that, we will close multiple item public comment portion of today's meeting, and we'll move forward with the approval of minutes for Wednesday, June 18, 2025. Commissioners, any questions or comments? Seeing none, I'll move to approve of the minutes. Is there a second? Seconded by Commissioner Mitchell.
Very well, we'll go ahead and take a roll call vote on approval of minutes, starting with you, President King.
Aye.
Vice President Chavez.
Aye.
President Pro Tem Grant.
Aye.
And Commissioner Mitchell. All ayes, and approval is unanimous.
Thank you very much. Moving on to our agenda items for today. Item number 1 is on consent related to receiving bids for CD15, CIP 5261, Terminal Island Water Reclamation Plant Polymer System Replacement. Commissioners, any comments or issues related to this? If not, I'll move to on item number 1. Is there a second?
Second.
Seconded by President Pro Tem Grant.
Very well, we'll go ahead and take a roll call vote on approval of item 1, starting with you, President King.
Aye.
Vice President Chavez.
Aye.
President Pro Tem Grant.
Aye.
And Commissioner Mitchell. All ayes, item 1 is adopted, and will move forward forthwith.
Thank you. Moving on to item number 2 from the Bureau of Engineering for Council District 14, claim for refund for 6105 North Toltec Way. Please come up and introduce yourself. Good morning.
Good morning, Commissioners. Dale Williams, Bureau of Engineering, Central District. The item before you today, item 2, is a claim for refund for street damage restoration fee payment at 6105 Toltec Way. This project is, street damage restoration fee was paid under a B permit for proposed sewer construction within Avenue 60 originally. During construction phase of the project was redesigned to connect to the sewer in Toltec Way, resulting in a much lesser street damage restoration fee. And the plans were revised by Bureau of Engineering through the ICA process, and the applicable street damage restoration fee reduced accordingly. Consequently, the applicant requested a refund for the balance of the street damage restoration fee, and after deduction of administration fees, the amount would be in the amount of $84,746.40, which exceeds the department head authority, therefore requiring board and council approval. Bureau of Engineering is recommending approval of the item.
All right, Commissioners, any questions or comments? Okay, seeing none, is there a first and a second?
So move.
First by President Pro Tem Grant, seconded by Commissioner Mitchell.
Very well, we'll go ahead and take a roll call vote on approval of item 2, starting with you, President Kang.
Aye.
Vice President Chavez.
Aye.
President Pro Tem Grant.
Aye.
And Commissioner Mitchell. All ayes, and item 2 is adopted and referred to City Council forthwith.
Thank you very much. Moving on to item number 3 for Council District 11, encroachment in public right-of-way, Windward Circle. Please come up and identify yourself.
Good morning. Tanat Satidkit, Bureau of Engineering. The item before you is requesting revocable permission to encroach into the public right-of-way with the Venice Mexican-American Trujillo monument that consists of a 19.5-foot high bronze statue of a Mexican-American railroad worker and his family on the railroad track, a bronze plaque, a 23-foot wide water fountain, and a 30-foot high flagpole with the American flag on the top, followed by the Mexican flag. The proposed monument is located at the intersection of Windward Avenue and Main Street within Windward Circle in Venice. The applicant is the Venice Mexican-American Trujillo Monument Committee. As a brief history, on December 15, 2020, the Venice Neighborhood Council approved a motion in support of the Venice Mexican-American Trujillo Monument to be installed at Windward Circle in Venice. On March 31, 2021, the applicant gained support through a council motion introduced by Council District 11 for the installation of the monument. Subsequently, on May 5, 2021, the City Council adopted the Public Works Committee report related to such motion for the installation of the monument. On July 20, 2021, Ms. Laura Cabellos requested a revocable permit for the installation of the monument in a public way on behalf of the Venice Mexican-American Trujillo Monument Committee. The monument consists of a bronze statue of a railroad worker known as a Trujillo on a railroad track holding his daughter's hand and holding a tool on the other hand with his son on his shoulder and his wife by his side. The bronze statue will be installed inside a water fountain. In addition to that, 30 inches by 20 inches plaque displaying the list of sponsors and monument description will be installed adjacent to the statue. A 30-foot high flagpole with the American flag above the Mexican flag will also be installed adjacent to the water fountain. The monument will honor all Mexican and Mexican-American railroad workers, known as Trujillos, that helped build and maintain the railroad transportation system throughout the United States. On August 9, 2023, the Cultural Affairs Commission provided conceptual approval for the monument. Based on the BUE review, the monument is proposed to be installed in Windward Circle, which is a median that has no pedestrian access leading to it. On the median, there are existing bollards and existing statue called Venice Torso, utility vaults, and trees in which they would not be in conflict with the proposed monument. The monument does not adversely impact vehicular and pedestrian movements. Therefore, subject to the conditions of the report, it is recommended granting the city engineer's authority to issue a revocable permit for the proposed monument. Council District 11 has been informed of the request and is in support of the request and BUE recommendations. This concludes my presentation. I'm open to any questions you may have.
Thank you very much, Commissioners. Before we hear from all of you, we do have one public comment for agenda item number 3. I would like to call up to the podium Sean Silva from Council District 11. Welcome.
Thank you. Good morning, President Kang, honorable members of the board. My name is Sean Silva, and I'm speaking on behalf of the Office of Councilwoman Tracy Park. And I'll speak a little louder going forward. Thank you for the opportunity to address the board. Our office remains supportive of the Trujillo Monument coming to the west side. We have committed arts funds in the amounts of $10,000 to support the efforts. We look forward to continuing our work with the applicant in support of the project. We thank you for your time and consideration and speaking before you.
Thank you very much. Commissioners, any questions or comments related? One quick question from me, very much in support of the overall project. Is there a plan for maintenance once this is installed?
Yes, yes, as part of the revocable permit, the applicant is required to agree to maintain the encroachment. They are required to sign and notarize the waiver of damages. Also, the maintenance and agreement with BOE before we issue the revocable permit.
All right, thank you very much. Seeing no other comment, I'll move to approve item number 3. Is there a second? Seconded by Commissioner Mitchell.
Very well, we will go ahead and take a roll call vote on approval of item 3, starting with you, President Kang.
Aye.
Vice President Chavez.
Aye.
President Pro Tem Grant.
Aye.
And Commissioner Mitchell. All ayes, and item 3 is adopted, subject to conditions forthwith.
Thank you very much. Moving on to item number 4, also within Council District 11, above ground facilities ordinance at 6560 West 86th Place.
Good morning, Commissioners. My name is Tao Yang, and I'm with Bureau of Engineering Central District as well. The item before you is a hardship waiver request on an AGF cabinet located to be placed in the Westchester area in Council District 11. Far West Corrosion is the applicant. They represent Southern California Gas Company. They're installing a cathodic protection facility which protects the existing gas main lines underground from corrosion. And as part of the system, they're required to install a above ground cabinet to house associated meters and controls. The new cabinet will be 5 feet tall and less than 36 cubic inches. It's well within the threshold allowed by the municipal code. But because the project is located in coastal transportation corridor, they are required to get a hardship waiver from below grade requirements in order to place any AGFs above ground. And that's why they're requesting here. Planning Department and DOT have both stated in the past they have no interest in reviewing AGF in the coastal transportation corridor specific plan. We did not receive any comments from council district, neighbor councils, as well as we did not receive any appeals from surrounding neighbors. The Cultural Affairs Commission has also approved the cabinet design. This concludes my briefing, and thank you for your time, and I'm able to answer any questions.
Thank you very much. Commissioners, do you have any comments or questions? Seeing none, I'll move to approve item number 4. Is there a second?
Second.
Seconded by President Pro Tem Grant and Commissioner Mitchell.
Thank you.
We will go ahead and take a roll call vote on approval of item 4, starting with you, President Kang.
Aye.
Vice President Chavez.
Aye.
President Pro Tem Grant.
Aye.
And Commissioner Mitchell. All ayes, and item 4 is adopted and will move forward forthwith.
All right, moving on to item number 5 within Council District 15, task order solicitation number 97, Perkins and Will.
Good morning, Commissioners. Can you hear me clearly? Good. Good morning, Commissioners, executives, and City Attorney staff. My name is Ohaji Abdullah. I'm with the Bureau of Engineering Architectural Division. I am honored to present this report as it represents the culmination of community efforts and actions to restore this treasure to the Watts neighborhood. This report requests approval to issue the Task Order 97 to complete the historical structures report, assessment, community engagement, concept design, and final cost estimate for this first phase of the project. The Watts Happening Cultural Center, located at in Watts, in the Watts area, constructed in 1970, was born from the community activism that stemmed from the 1965 Watts Rebellion. The center was designed by 2 celebrated African American architects, Robert Kennard and Arthur Silvers, and over the years the facility was well utilized and became home to several organizations focused on performance art education, and economic development via the Watts Coffee House, a sit-down restaurant within the center. Unfortunately, the center has experienced deferred maintenance and deterioration from public use. The building, and consequently, the building now requires significant repairs and capital investment. Through the concerted efforts of the Watts community, CD15, and BOE staff, a grant proposal was developed, and the project was awarded the Conserving Black Modernism Grant in the amount of approximately $150,000, and that is being used to fund the historic structures report. Additional city funding was leveraged to fund the full pre-designed scope of the historic community asset. The total scope of work, as previously noted, includes the development of the historic structures report, which for this project was rather unique as we went above and beyond, interviewed the architects, family members, etc., to really dive a little deeper on the benefit of the design and those programmatic elements that have happened throughout the years. The scope also obviously includes the development of a program, the subsequent conceptual plan, and a rough order of magnitude estimate that we will use to drive our fundraising and budgeting scheduling for the next 4 to 5 years to bring this project to fruition. Thus far, the community engagement scope and the HSR have been completed, and upon approval of this report, the design team will initiate the programming and concept phase, and then finally the cost estimate. Available for any questions.
Thank you very much. Commissioners, any questions or comments? Vice President Chavez.
Yes, thank you. I'm very well familiar with this building and all the history associated with it. I'm curious, I know that there was a grant that was received for the pre-design work. Is there a funding strategy for anything beyond that?
Well, no, right now the funding strategy was previously based on obviously applying for CTIEP funds like most of our other capital improvement projects. As this particular building is not under any particular departments, sort of general fund and maintenance, so it's up to us to essentially apply for CTIEP funds on an annual basis in a manner that hits our cost estimate and over our project budget at the time that we're going out to bid and award. Obviously, due to the current budget, many of our projects, CTIP awards have been postponed. But once we finalize the project estimate, we will begin that process for this project.
Okay. All right, thank you.
Thank you very much. I think it's this is a project that everybody's very much waiting for to move forward, so very much in support. I'm happy to move item number 5. Is there a second?
Second.
Seconded by Vice President Chavez.
Very well, we will go ahead and take a roll call vote on approval of item 5, starting with you, President Kang.
Yes.
Vice President Chavez.
Aye.
President Pro Tem Grant.
Aye.
And Commissioner Mitchell. All ayes, and item 5 is adopted and will move forward forthwith.
Thank you, Commissioner.
Thank you very much. Moving on to item number 6 for all council district, task orders for solicitation number S-029, TRC Solutions, Inc.
And good morning. I'm Mahesh Pujari. I'm the
Please speak into the mic, please. Yes.
Sure. Good morning. I am Mahesh Pujari. I'm the division manager of EMD, Environment Monitoring Division.
Can you speak louder into the mic? My apologies, we can't hear you.
Can you? Oh, okay. Thank you. Yeah, I think I'm good now. Thank you. Good morning, commissioners. I think President Kang, VP Chavez, and commissioners. I'm Mahesh Pujari. I'm the division manager of EMD. And on my side is Carmen Seto, and I cannot do the project without her support. It has been going on almost 2 years, and she stood on my side to do all the work on the daily basis, and I'm presenting she with me. EMD is a large division and testing division, and it is one of the large division in the country. We have about 115 people doing the work every day, but still we need to outsource legally mandated samples, which is mandated by the various permits of the city. For example, the permits are NPDS, which is a legal mandate for our water reclamation plant, DCT, LAG, Hyperion, and Terminal Island. We have MS4 permits, which is for the watershed monitoring. It is MS4 permit is legally mandated. We have a landfill permit, which is again legally mandated by EPA. And we have now going to the recycled water, which is a massive requirement by the State Water Board and EPA. And besides that, we have a various special programs which we have to enforce by the legally mandated permit. LA River testing program, LARAM program. We have a TMDL studies. We have CEC, chemical of emerging concerns. That is also a major part of the mandate by the EPA. We have a PFAS testing program, which is evolving so strongly, and it will go probably another 20, 30 years. And besides this testing, which is going on for many years in the city, we are moving to AWPF, Advanced Water Purification Facility for DCT and LEG. We have a membrane bioreactor testing for Hyperion, which is jointly done by support of DWP and the city. So with all these programs, we need to outsource samples, which cannot be done by EMD. The reason behind that, neither we have the resource to do it, don't have equipment to do it, or our people are not trained. And besides that, we cannot bring the work to EMD because some tests are done quarterly, some tests are done semi-annually, some tests are done annually. So it makes no sense to do it here, spending millions of dollars of equipment and retaining employees. So we decide to outsource some of this work which cannot be done by the city. And to do this, I'm sorry. To do this, actually, I'm presenting you a fiscal year for next 4 to 5 fiscal years. The estimated budget you were estimating is about $18.3 million for next 5 fiscal years. And to do that, we have to follow through your direction. So Board of Public Works, you approved us on 7/1/24, 31 consultant, and we strictly followed your direction, and we published this TOS in the RAMP cities and advertise it, and we informed everybody very openly. But out of this, the chronologically on January 17th, 25, the TOS was issued to all approved, city approved, 31 consultant, board approved. And we only received, we had also had a meeting because a lot of people, they do not understand the project. So we have to have a meeting to explain them what it is about, because it's all legally mandated and city required projects. Only 6 consultants, they came to the meeting and other did not. Maybe they didn't decide, they cannot do it. And out of 6, I presided the meeting. And when the last day of project came in on February 25th, we received only 3 proposals from 3 consultants. And after that, in the EMD, our managers, being the division manager, I took the lead and I called all the managers, and also I took the help of the sample receiving and outsourcing supervisor, Jeremy Nugent. We sat together and gave score based on the city's need and what the consultant will provide us. We evaluated it, we gave the score, and we determined that TRC solutions stood out, that they are capable of handling the project and what city needs, and we gave the project to TRC. So I'm here to get your support and approval so that the legally mandated test on the recycling water test will move forward. And I need your support and approval to start the project on July 1, which is beginning of the next fiscal year. And if we don't do the test, city will be penalized. City will be paying much more fine than the test needs. So this is my presentation. So if you have any question, I'll be happy to answer.
Thank you very much. Commissioners, any questions or comments? All right, seeing none, is there a first and a second?
So moved.
Second.
First by Vice President Chavez and seconded by President Pro Tem Grant.
Very well. We will go ahead and take a roll call vote on approval of item 6, starting with you, President Kang.
Aye.
Vice President Chavez.
Aye.
President Pro Tem Grant.
Aye.
And Commissioner Mitchell. All ayes. Item 6 is adopted and will move forward forthwith.
Thank you.
Thank you very much. Moving on to item number 7 for all council district fiscal year 2025-26 residential sewer service charge determination and commercial sewer service charge.
Good morning. Good morning, President Kang, commissioners, city attorney, and Mr. Knight. Can you all hear me okay?
If you can speak a little louder into the mic,
There we go.
appreciate it.
Is it better now? Okay, sounds good. So my name is Sam Chen. I'm with LA San Financial Management Divisions. I'm here for agenda item number 7, fiscal year 25-26, residential sewer service charge determination and commercial sewer service charge returning factors. So this board report that I'm presenting today is a board report that LA San brings to the board annually for adoptions of factors to be used in calculating sewer service charge. The sewer service charge is calculated by multiplying the sewer rate by the volume of sewage discharged. The recommendations in this board report address the second component of this equation, which is the sewer volume. To be specific, this report recommends several proposed factors to be used to determine the sewer volume for both residential and commercial customers. So there are total 4 factors, 3 for residential and 1 for commercial. And the first factors is the first recommendation items on this board report, which is to request the board to adopt the rainy season period from December 24, 2024 to March 13, 2025, which capture 89% of the rainfall during the fiscal year. Moving down, the next recommendation items is the rainy season review period. This period contains the time period where residential customers have the lowest water consumption. And the proposed rainy season review period is to be from November 26, 2024 to April 10, 2025. And the third recommendation items on this board report is the dry winter compensation factor. The dry winter compensation factor is selected during the rainy season when outdoor water use is the lowest in the fiscal year. The proposed dry winter compensation factor for fiscal year 25-26 is 0.88. And the last recommendation item on this board report is the default percentage discharge for commercial sewer service charge. Similar to residential, for the commercial, LA San used a factor called the default percentage discharge to calculate the sewer volume. The proposed default percentage discharge for fiscal year 25-26 is 92%. And here I would like to mention that LADWP, who is the billing agent for LA San, will incorporate both the residential and commercial factors into their billing system starting July 1st, 2025 for the fiscal year of 25-26. And this board report needs to be adopted prior to the new rate implementation date. And that concludes my presentation, and I'm happy to answer any questions that you guys may have.
All right, thank you very much. Commissioners, any questions or comments related to item number 7? All right, seeing none, I'll move to approve item number 7. Is there a second? Seconded by Commissioner Mitchell.
Very well. We'll go ahead and take a roll call vote on approval of item 7, starting with you, President Kang.
Aye.
Vice President Chavez.
Aye.
President Pro Tem Grant.
Aye.
And Commissioner Mitchell. All ayes, and item 7 is adopted and will move forward forthwith.
Thank you very much.
Thank you all.
Moving on to item number 8 for all council district personal services contract, Micrometer Inc.
Good morning. My name is Christine Hunter-Jostes, and I'm with LA Sanitation and Environment. I'm here today to request the award of the Clean Water Conveyance System Flow Gauging Data Contract to Micrometer. This request will yield a contract that provides continuous flow monitoring data delivery service for our collection system once the existing contract expires in November 2025. The existing flow monitoring program was established through a contract executed in June 2015, which means we've been able to collect 10 years' worth of data that's valuable for our uses in our collection system. This contract will allow for the continuation of that effort, and these flow monitoring and planning efforts include wet weather planning and response, collection system modeling and planning, contract agency billing for agencies that use our system to convey and treat their wastewater, and support for the water reclamation plants and other system planning activities. A little bit of history: on August 18th, 2023, the board approved the distribution of the RFP for the project. On December 6th, 2023, LA San received 2 proposals in response to the RFP, one from ADS Environmental Services and the other from Micrometer. Interviews were held on April 2nd, 2024, and then upon review of the proposals and the conclusion of the interviews, LA San staff determined that Micrometer provided the best value to the city. The selected contractor, Micrometer, will be responsible for providing a comprehensive data delivery service inclusive of installation and calibration of the flow monitoring equipment, with the options for data analysis, additional reporting, and any data quality control work we might need them to do. The proposed term of the contract is 5 years with a 5-year renewal option, and the proposed project budget is $22,574,410 over that 10-year term. This contract is funded by the Sewer Construction and Maintenance Fund and will have no impact on the general fund. This concludes my presentation, and I'll be happy to answer any questions you may have.
Thank you very much. Commissioners, do you have any questions or comments related to item number 8? Okay, seeing none, is there a first and a second?
Second.
All right, first by Commissioner Mitchell and seconded by President Pro Tem Grant.
Very well. We will go ahead and take a roll call vote on approval of item 8, starting with you, President Kang.
Aye.
Vice President Chavez.
Aye.
President Pro Tem Grant.
Aye.
And Commissioner Mitchell. All ayes, and item 8 is adopted and referred to Mayor and Council forthwith.
Thank you.
Thank you very much. Moving on to item number 9 for all council district requests for authority requests for proposals, industrial scale calibration, and as needed repairs, replacement, and maintenance services.
Hi, President Gang and Board of Public Works members. My name is Andres Covarrubias, one of LA San engineers overseeing the operation of commercial truck scales at 3 key facilities. One being the Central Los Angeles Recycling and Transfer Station, CLARTS, which has 6 scales, the Harbor Mulching Facility, 1 scale, and the Lopez Canyon Environmental and Nature Center, which has 3 scales. So these facilities are essential and crucial to the city's waste management and composting efforts. Just a brief background about the facilities. CLARTS facility receives municipal solid waste, which from the curbside collection program. So this is the black bin and green bin material. Also private waste from residents, and also commercial waste. Harbor Mulching Facility, it accepts waste from LA San green bin as well as city departments like Recs and Parks. Lopez Canyon also receives green waste and the brown bin material, which is horse manure. So both Harbor and Lopez use the green waste material to compost and distribute to the City of LA residents for free. So accurate and efficient scale operation is critical to avoid service disruptions and to meet regulatory reporting requirements for agencies such as CalRecycle. The proposed RFP will support this by verifying scale accuracy through quarterly calibration reports, scheduling routine preventative maintenance, so this includes cleaning, also providing after-hours service for urgent repairs, replacements, and maintenance, and also major scale repairs due to the age of the existing equipment. The current maintenance contract expires in March 2026. The proposed new contract will have a term of 5 years, an option for a 1 5-year renewal, and an option for a month-to-month extension for up to 12 months. The criteria for evaluation and scoring the proposals include qualifications, the cost and budget control, worker safety requirements and schedule, overall responsiveness, and local business preference.
preference. LA Sand will submit a report to the board with a recommendation to award and execute a contract with the selected proposer. And there will be no impact to the general fund. I'm here to answer any additional questions or any questions you may have. Thank you.
All right. Thank you very much. Commissioners, any questions or comments? I know this is very much needed. I'll move to approve item number 9. Is there a second?
Second.
Seconded by Vice President Chavez.
Very well, we will go ahead and take a roll call vote on approval of item 9, starting with you, President Kang.
Aye.
Vice President Chavez.
Aye.
President Pro Tem Grant.
Aye.
And Commissioner Mitchell. And item number 9 is approved unanimous and is adopted and will move forward forthwith.
Thank you.
Thank you very much. Moving on to item number 10 in Council District 6, contract award, the CD6 Tiny Home Village Sun Valley Metro Link.
Good morning, President Kang, commissioners, and members of the board. My name is Amy Lin. I'm a project manager with the Bureau of Engineering Architectural Division. This report is recommending the Board of Public Works to award 4EC Incorporated a contract for the CD6 Tiny Home Village Sun Valley project for the amount of $4,893,299. Execute the contract and instruct Ford to submit their bonds and insurance. So background regarding this item, on July 31st, 2020, the board approved a motion to query the 17 contractors on the pre-qualified contractor list for the municipal facility and related project to assess and rank the firm on design build experiences and construction on homeless shelters. As a result, a pre-qualified list was established with 7 contractors as listed on the board report. This will be the 16th tiny home village. The project will provide temporary emergency homeless shelters in the city of Los Angeles under Executive Directive number 24 pursuant to the LA Municipal Code 1280. It's located at the existing Sun Valley Metrolink station on its park and ride parking lot located at 8358 San Fernando Road in Sun Valley. The facility will include a combination of pallet shelters, hygiene units, administration offices, a community room, and repurposed modular structures for sleeping, hygiene, and administrative functions. The on-site amenities consist of staff parking, shaded seating area, a pet relief area, and privacy fencing. The site will accommodate up to 210 beds. The contract duration is 180 days. The project has been reviewed for environmental considerations and was determined to be statutorily exempt from the California Environmental Quality Act under the Public Resource Code. On April 9th, a sole bid was received from 4EC for the amount of $4,893,299, which is about 21% higher than the city engineer estimate of $4,059,341. Based on the bid evaluation, staff finds the bid amount to be reasonable with unit price deemed balanced. The low bidder participation is believed to be due to the size of the project. It is believed that re-advertising the project would be unlikely to attract additional or lower bids. Ford has worked on numerous projects issued by the board. No significant or unresolved problems in inspection, contract compliance, or bidder responsibility have been experienced by the Bureau of Contract Administration. Funding is available to cover the bid amount. Funds come from the Emergency Stabilization Bid Grant from the state. So in view of the above findings, Bureau of Engineering recommends that the board declare for the sole bidder to be the lowest responsible bidder and award for the contract for this project. So with that, that concludes my presentation. I'm happy to address any questions.
Thank you very much. Commissioners, any questions or comments on item number 10? Okay. Thank you very much. I'll move to approve item number 10. Is there a second? Seconded by Commissioner Mitchell.
Very well, we'll go ahead and take a roll call vote on approval of item 10, starting with you, President Kang.
Aye.
Vice President Chavez.
Aye.
President Pro Tem Grant.
Aye.
And Commissioner Mitchell. All ayes, and item 10 is adopted and will move forward forthwith.
Thank you very much. Moving on to item number 11 in Council District 1 and 14, contract award, the North Outfall Sewer Rehabilitation Unit 11, Humboldt Street to Cardinal Street.
Good morning, Commissioners. My name
Please speak into the mic, and if
is
you
that
could.
better? My name is Lubna Malik. I'm a project manager with the Bureau of Engineering, Wastewater Conveyance Engineering Division. Is this better? I'll be speaking on item 11 for the North Outfall Sewer NOS Rehab Unit 11 project. Today, we are requesting the board to award Spinello Infrastructure West, Inc., a contract for the NOS Rehab Unit 11 Cardinal Street to Humboldt Street project for $21,791,211. The project is located within Council Districts 1 and 14 and involves the rehabilitation of 3,860 feet of the existing NOS via slip lining, which is the trenchless repair method. This section of the NOS was built in the 1920s and requires rehabilitation due to its deteriorating condition. Looking at Figure 1, the project alignment begins at the intersection of Gibbon Street and Cardinal Street, traverses partly across Albion Riverside Park, and ends at the intersection of Humboldt Street and Avenue 18. All stakeholders, including Rec and Park and their Albion Riverside Park staff, and Council Districts 1 and 14 have been briefed on this project, with no objections to proceeding with construction. The project was also reviewed for environmental considerations, and it was determined to be categorically exempt. On February 26, 2025, 2 bids were received from JR Pipeline and Spinello Infrastructure. JR bid $27,996,050, about 30% higher than the CE estimate, and Spinello bid $21,791,211, about 1.2% higher than the city engineer's estimate. Spinello was determined to be the lowest responsible bidder. The Bureau of Contract Administration verified that Spinello is a certified local business enterprise for this project, and the project was advertised with the anticipated participation levels of 4% MBE, 2% WBE, 25% SBE, 8% EBE, and 3% DBBE, with mandatory business inclusion program documentation requirements. The Office of Contract Compliance reviewed the bid documents submitted by Spinello and reported that the contractor pledged participation levels of 2.82% MBE, 0.84% WBE, 7.4% SBE, 4.65% EBE, 0% DVB, 0% LGBTBE, and 13.19% OBE, and complied with the BIP outreach requirements of the bid. The project was advertised with a mandatory subcontracting minimum requirement of 20%, and the contractor has complied by pledging a subcontractor participation level of 23.31%. The project also incorporates the project labor agreement, and funding will be budgeted within the Sewer Construction Maintenance Fund and is not to exceed $22,880,771. In view of the findings presented in this report, BOE staff recommends the following to the Board of Public Works as documented on page 1 of the report. Declare Spinello Infrastructure West, Inc. to be the lowest responsible bidder and award Spinello a contractor for the NOS Rehab Unit project for $21,791,211, and authorize the board to execute the contract after approval as to form has been attained from the city attorney. This concludes my briefing. Any questions?
All right, commissioners, any questions or comments? Quick question, what has been your communication between both Council District 1 and 14 related to the work order?
I'm sorry, can you repeat the question?
Any feedback from Council District 1 and 14 related to the project scope?
So we briefed them several times throughout the course of the project's design. Most recently, we briefed them in April 2025 and heard no objections to the project.
And then in terms of potential closures, street closures related to the project, what would be sort of the hours or the days of work that we can anticipate?
It would be Monday to Friday. We do have peak hour exemptions, so it would be from 7 to 6:30 p.m., 7 a.m. to 6:30 p.m.
And then if there are any issues, are there numbers or contact information posted in the construction zone?
Yeah, so during the start of construction, we work with the LA Sanitation Community Outreach Team that will be posting flyers around the neighborhood to let them know about construction.
Okay. Do you know the type of the communication that folks can, is it just calling in or is it email?
The flyers will provide project scope and background, details of what the project will entail, schedule and duration of the project, and they will have contact information from our community outreach team.
And then do you know if those outreach materials are translated?
I believe they provide them in English and Spanish.
Okay. Can you double check for me?
Yes, I will.
All right. Thank you very much. Seeing no other questions, I'll move to approve item number 11. Is there a second?
Second.
Seconded by Commissioner Mitchell.
Very well, we will go ahead and take a roll call vote on approval of item 11, starting with you, President Kane.
Aye.
Vice President Chavez.
Aye.
President Pro Tem Grant.
Aye.
And Commissioner Mitchell. All ayes, and item 11 is adopted forthwith. If I could just add a friendly request to the presenter, Lubna, to email me the confirmation of the translation services. I'll distribute it to all commissioners. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Moving on to item number 12 in Council District 11, Capital Improvement Project 2516 HWRP, Headworks Overflow Bypass Improvements.
Good morning, Commissioners. My name is Ibrahim Hafiz. I am a project manager with the Environmental Engineering Division for the Bureau of Engineering. I'm here today to brief on a board motion for the Hyperion Water Reclamation Plant Headworks Overflow Bypass Improvements Project, Capital Improvement Project number 2516. This project is located in Council District 11. So we are recommending in this board motion to authorize additional emergency funding for $525,000 for unforeseen sluice gate installation work, and therefore authorize a revised budget of $9,641,091. Furthermore, the board action requested is to authorize this additional funding under the wastewater emergency pre-qualified on-call contract. So a little bit of background about this project. It is an emergency contract. On April 11, 2022, Commissioner Teresa Villegas authorized the use of the wastewater emergency pre-qualified on-call contract to implement critical flood mitigation work at the Hyperion Water Reclamation Plant following the July 11th, 2021 Hyperion flood event. The initial budget for the contract was $9,116,091, and the contract was awarded to Murray Company as the low bidder after a competitive bid between the top three contractors on the emergency on-call list. The original scope of work for the contract was rehabilitation of the Headworks East and West bypass channels. And just some background about Headworks, it's the first facility in which wastewater enters the plant, and so that is one of the most critical locations on at the plant for wastewater treatment. There was bar screen channel sluice gates rehabilitation, and then restoration of a passive overflow weir, which would give maintenance and operations staff a little bit more time in the event of operational failure to go in and manually override any of the equipment in the Headworks facility. Thus far, construction is approximately 74% complete, and during construction, we found out that one of the gates that were going to be installed exceeded the weight limit of the in-house crane and needed to be cut in half. And this requires a lot of extra work on behalf of the contractor, on behalf of the vendor, and the plant. And so we're incurring about approximately $525,000 in additional costs in order to cut the gate in two sections, install it in separate pieces, and then reseal it for structural and waterproofing purposes. In conclusion, it's requested that the board authorize additional funding for the Headworks Overflow Bypass Improvements Project to Murray Plumbing and Heating Company in the amount not to exceed $525,000 and authorize a revised budget of $9,641,091. That concludes my briefing, and I'll open the floor up to any questions that you might have.
Thank you very much. Commissioners, any questions or comments related to item number 12? Seeing none, is there a first and a second?
Second.
First by Commissioner Mitchell, seconded by President Pro Tem Grant.
Very well. We will go ahead and take a roll call vote on approval of item 12, starting with you, President Kang,
Aye.
Vice President Chavez,
Aye.
President Pro Tem Grant,
Aye.
and Commissioner Mitchell. Item 12 is approved and will move forward forthwith.
Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. Moving on to item number 13 in Council District 4, rejection of all bids for this project.
Good morning. My name is Alyssa Reyes with Bureau of Engineering, Wastewater Conveyance Engineering Division, requesting the board to reject all bids for the North Outfall Sewer Rehabilitation Unit 33, Magnolia Boulevard and Woodman Avenue project, and that the city engineer return to the board to re-advertise at a later date. So this project was advertised on March 7 this year and involves the rehabilitation of approximately 5,895 linear feet of sewer. This is on Magnolia Boulevard and Woodman Avenue in Council District 4. The city engineer's estimate for the project is $24,923,450. 2 bids were received on April 23 this year, with both bids exceeding the city engineer's estimate by unreasonable amounts. This is by 38.77% or $9.7 million and 52.40% or $13.1 million. So some things that we noted during the bid evaluation, these bids were priced to manage risk. So while both bids were close in price, the bidders did mention that they priced the bids in an effort to manage risk associated with potentially late payments that they experienced on prior jobs. And BOE has since worked with Office of Accounting to improve on our internal processes to make sure that the contractors are paid on time. And additionally, we are also seeing a currently flooded market for sewer rehabilitation projects. BOE advertised several projects this year, and this includes at least 5 large CIP projects within the past 6 months. So the bids may be reflecting a shortage of resources for our contractors who are not only busy with our projects, but also with other agencies. So re-advertising the contract after a few months may allow the contractors to better reallocate their resources to provide less inflated bids. And in reviewing the low bid specifically, we observed some front-loaded costs associated with some of the early construction activities. So this is regarding sewer cleaning, and this takes place before sewer rehabilitation or the sewer lining is done. So this further justified our recommendation to reject the bids because there would be less incentive, in our opinion, for completing the project on schedule if too much money was paid up front. And additionally, the design team plans to modify the contract documents to be in a better position to receive competitive bids when the project is re-advertised. This includes updating bid item quantities and unit prices to recent comparable bids from other agency projects as well. And as for the condition of the sewer, it is approximately 100 years old. Latest CCTV inspections show that there are several fallen clay tiles, as well as a small sewer pinhole along Woodman Avenue, and the concrete behind the clay tiles is approximately 1.5 to 2 inches thick. So while the sewer is in critical condition, we believe it can withstand the added few months while we plan to re-advertise if approved. And we did brief LA Sanitation and Environment about the recommendation to reject bids on May 7 last month, and there were no objections with proceeding. So based on the bid evaluation, we are requesting the board to reject all bids for the North Outfall Sewer Rehabilitation Unit 33 project and for the city engineer to return to the board and re-advertise at a later date. This concludes my presentation. I can answer any questions.
Thank you very much. Commissioners, any questions or comments related to item number 13? Vice President Chavez.
Can you tell me a little bit about what the process is for determining when to reject bids? So is there a certain threshold over the city engineer's estimate that you have as a policy?
Formally in our project delivery manual, that is Bureau of Engineering's project delivery manual, the threshold is 15% over city engineer's estimate, and making sure in general that the bid is balanced, that the bid items aren't priced too heavily in the front for activities in the beginning of construction, which is something that we did notice for our project at least, for NOS Unit 33. So that is the threshold established for BOE.
And I know we previously on this agenda approved another North Sewer Outfall Project. I mean, this is the largest, this is the largest wastewater project overall, right, that we have that is in the valley that feeds down into Hyperion. Are there other, that whole system is 100 years old. So are there other projects also in the pipeline, so to speak, that are going to be coming before us that also you guys are planning to bid out?
Yes. Well, the system that this project is rehabilitating is the North Outfall Sewer Collection System. So that outfall system contains various units. This one is Unit 33, but there's adjacent projects. I think NOS Unit 35 is currently in construction. I believe NOS Units 34 may be either an ongoing planning or design project or a future project. So there's many projects coming down the line. I believe most of the NOS has already been repaired, but these are kind of the tail end of that outfall system.
Okay, all right. We will look forward to seeing when it gets rebid out and comes before us.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Seeing no other questions or comments, I'll move to approve item number 13. Is there a second?
Second.
Seconded by Vice President Chavez.
Very well, we'll go ahead and take a roll call vote on approval of item 13, starting with you, President Kang.
Aye.
Vice President Chavez.
Aye.
President Pro Tem Grant.
Aye.
And Commissioner Mitchell. All ayes, and item 13 is approved unanimous and will move forward forthwith.
Thank you very much. Moving on to item number 14, oral report, contractor performance report policy number 796 from the Bureau of Contract Administration.
Good morning, Commissioners, personnel of the board.
Do you mind taking the mic
Can you hear me?
and kind
Hello.
of, you can pull it out if it's easier. Yeah.
Okay. Good morning. Good morning. Can you hear me? Okay. Thank you for having me. My name is David Miles. I'm presenting on the policy 796, the Contractor Special Recognition Program. This program was implemented in order to recognize outstanding performance by prime construction contractors on our public works projects. This is intended to both motivate and inspire and recognize the contractors who routinely strive to have outstanding performance on our projects. They have the opportunity of earning recognition in quality, compliance, and opportunity. They can earn a bronze, silver, or gold rating, and also a platinum rating for similar projects performance on project labor agreement projects. Some brief criteria. The contractors are scored on whether they have no prevailing wage or apprenticeship utilization violations on projects with non-PLA with thresholds of $1 million and $5 million and above. They also have recognition for individual prevailing wage or apprenticeship utilization violations on any craft of work performed on project labor agreements projects, as well as long as no non-compliances were earned on the project, and also their participation levels in our business inclusion section. All of these will relate to a score given. And as of this last fiscal year, we've awarded 2 projects with a score. The first being Dyna Electric on a street lighting conduit only project. This job came in 61% below its authorized budget, and through the recognition, they've earned a silver rating. The second project of recognition was a high voltage conversion feed program to Comet Electric, and they came in 18% below authorized budget, and they were awarded a bronze award. And we anticipate and encourage more awards in the near future. I am available for any questions.
Thank you very much. Commissioners, any questions? President Pro Tem Grant.
Thank you for the report. It's good to hear that we're taking notice of what best practices are and awarding some recognition to that.
And with respect to the awarding of stars, what's the practical effect for these companies that receive them in the future?
Excuse me, can you
What's the practical effect of receiving a star other than being able to put it on their refrigerator?
We're recognizing the outstanding performance of these contractors and recommending them for further projects on our public works projects.
It becomes like a form of recommendation?
Yes, yes.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Any other questions, commissioners? I have one. It's kind of a follow-up to President Pro Tem Grant. So once they're recognized in this form, so they get sort of like a recommendation from the Bureau that they're an excellent contractor. And how does that kind of equate into a benefit for them when they're bidding on these contracts?
Well, they're just given that quality recommendation by us that they've done outstanding works on our previous public works projects, and we continue to recommend them for further projects.
And then is the criteria sort of fixed, or is it kind of, can it be amended to include other types of, criteria to kind of, to meet that threshold?
As of right now, the criteria is specifically regarding compliance, quality, and opportunity in their participation levels and their lack of non-compliances earned on the project, as well as compliance with the prevailing wage and non-prevailing wage jobs with different thresholds of costs.
Are there any stipulations related to like, hiring different types of staff or, based in the city or this type, other things related to that?
Thanks, President Kang. So I think part of it with hiring, one of the criteria on compliance is as it relates to, one, no prevailing wage violations, but also on projects with a project labor agreement that they've met and exceeded all the requirements as it relates to local hiring, whether it's the 30% for local hiring, the 10% for transitional employees, and the 50% local apprentices. So through that, it does kind of recognize who they're hiring and who's building our projects. As far as amending the criteria, we could certainly always look at things that are of importance to you that you recognize for contractors. Right now, what it's based on is really kind of like the tenets of BCA. And when we look at contracts and we're administering the contracts in the field, again, the quality, safety, the compliance, so not just the hiring of workers, but also how they met opportunity and gave opportunities to other types of businesses. So those is what's focused on at the moment. To some of the earlier questions as it relates to what does the recognition do and sort of, we can't use it necessarily to say this contractor is better than the other, but I think it's like I was on that website House the other day, and when you're looking for a contractor, they have a thing that says best of house, right? And so I think it's one of those things that businesses can be proud of, and that's really the intent here, to know that they're a recognized contractor from the city. It could help them maybe with bids in other cities or municipalities. It just gives them sort of that stamp that when they go to work on your project, you're going to get something good.
One criteria I would love to kind of open for suggestion is, would love to find out if contractors can have language capacity. I think that's something that's important for the city, knowing that many of our contractors are engaged in community outreach and other types of communication. And I think that might be good to know whether, contractor A can speak, English and Spanish, and then others versus others. So, yeah.
Understood. We could look into that with the city attorney and see what we can put in there.
All right. Thank you very much. Any other questions or comments from commissioners? Okay, I think we're good on this one. Mr. Knight, does that clear our desk for today?
Yes, it does, President Kang.
All right. Our next meeting will be on Friday, June 27th, and the meeting is adjourned at 11:21 a.m. Folks who are still on, we have a town hall tonight at 6 p.m. in CD 11 in Westchester. So see you all there.